Hello everybody! Thank you for coming to watch this next video. I hope you all are having a wonderful, blessed day. This next video is going to be talking about part 2 of stage fright. So let's get into that. Hello everybody, welcome to Stage Fright Part 2. I really appreciate you guys coming to watch this video, and I also would be super blessed if you would subscribe as well. I hope that you guys enjoy the video and have a wonderful, blessed day. Woo! Alright everybody, so this video is going to talk about Stage Fright Part 2. Part 2 is going to discuss more about the unexpected things that can happen when you're actually on stage. When you're on stage, you sometimes can go blank, or there can be a tech issue that can go on, or you can literally trip and fall, or there's so many things, and there's a whole list that we could discuss. But today I want to specifically talk about when your tech equipment goes out. I actually just experienced this myself, so I would love to share with you what I did in this situation, and if you have any tips, please pass them along on the comments. I'd love to hear them. So let's get into it. Okay, so what I ended up doing in this situation with my tech equipment going out was that I am blessed to have my mother actually alongside of me in this business when I go out to sing. And she is the one that will go fix the tech equipment during a song if something is to happen. And for some reason, we were having an interference the other day with the Bluetooth speaker and our tech equipment, our iPad. And I'm like, uh-oh, what am I going to do? I'm in the middle of a song. So I was like, the only thing I can actually do is just politely say, there is an issue with our tech equipment right now, and then I just went right back into the song the best I could. So in other words, I did not allow fear to come in. I don't allow it. I just completely act natural. And we're going to get into more examples of how to act natural in just a minute. When you're acting natural on stage, there is some different things that you have to do. Number one, if you want to look natural, don't make the face. I know it's hard, guys, but don't make the face. The face is what actually causes you to make the audience break away from the song with you. And then they're like, oh, okay. You know, and they're kind of like, why is this happening? Why is your tech equipment going out? You don't want to show any sign of like frustration at all when you're on stage. You want to give them the best you can give them and the best joy that you can give them. So number one is do not make the face. And yes, this is the face. Just don't do it. It's not worth it, guys. So let's get into tip number 2. Okay, so tip number 2 is allowing yourself to figure out in a second, what can I do to keep the audience actually engaging with me? So I had a song going that was actually allowing me to be able to do something a little bit more moving based. So I actually was allowed to move my arms with the audience, and I was in a senior home situation, I want to point out. So I actually was able to get the seniors to exercise during the song instead of going and making the face. I decided, okay, everybody, let's roll our shoulders back. We're just having a slight tech issue, and we're going to get right back into that song in just a second. So let's just move our shoulders. Let's just really groove into this music, and let's just allow it to make our day. And those are the kinds of things you want to do. So tip number 2 is allowing the movement to come into the song, and you engaging that audience with you and not allowing that distraction to steal the show. Tip number 3, here we go. Tip number 3 I have for you is allowing the audience to do something with you during the song. So say the music still is not up yet, or the music just came back on. In this example, I'm going to say that the music did not come on, and then I will show you an example when it does come back on. When it didn't come back on, it was quiet. So you can't really sing yet, right? So that movement is important to keep doing. Talk with them, communication. So tip number 3 is communication. We want to use that to gauge the audience into the song, regardless if you're not singing it or not. So say it's like a song that's very kind of upbeat. Be upbeat. because the song's upbeat. If the song is slow, you can just say, okay, everybody, let's just sway. Let's just get into the song, and let's just allow that music to come back into our hearts. Those are the kinds of communication you want to use when a song is breaking, because the audience wants to stay in that moment with you, and if you break them away from it, then it's like, uh-oh, you know what I mean? So you really want to stay engaged. So be in the moment, be engaged, like we talked in part 1 of stage fright. Don't allow that fear to come in as part 2. So let's discuss now what can happen when you don't allow yourself to engage the audience if the music comes back on. So if you don't engage the audience when the music comes back on and you're allowing that fear to come in, it can allow the audience to be a little bit frustrated, actually. So you do not want to break that character. One time I had a situation where I totally just didn't do anything, and I didn't know about how to communicate with the audience in a situation that was just completely silent, you know? You feel awkward up there because the silence is there in the audience. And I didn't know that you have to actually communicate to keep the audience going. So over the years, as I've been singing for these senior homes and senior centers and even different locations, I've really come to realize that the best way to keep the flow going is by not allowing the show to stop. It's actually, and don't pause, don't act like anything is big or going on that's awkward. It's actually best during the song. So if you don't break that like awkwardness, it's best if you actually just keep going with the song, and now the music came back on randomly in the middle of the song, right? This is what we're going to get to on tip number 5. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Heather Ray the Rue Girl, and I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day.